Welcome in the 10th episode. Today we will implement logic to check if our square can be placed on the grid. If you want to help support this channel, hit the subscribe button below this video, turn on notifications so you will not miss any future episode I release. Okay, so let's get started. So let's quickly review what we're gonna do today. So currently you can place the shape on the grid, and as you see the shape is disappeared. But there is a situation where, for example, you try to place the shape here, which shouldn't be possible, but you still can place it. So we're going to look at these edge cases today, and we're going to fix it. So every time you try to place the shape on the grid where shouldn't be possible, the shape will go back to the start position. Okay, so let's open our project, and first of all let's go to the scripts, and then we will have to open the grid script. So go to the game, grid, and open the grid script. So inside our grid script, we need to go down to our check if shape can be placed function, and we will slightly modify this function. So as you remember, in the previous episodes we have implemented the function can we use this square, which is the function implemented in the grid square. So today we're going to replace this function. So let's actually modify this if statement. So I will just take out this function from here, and instead of this function we're going to put different condition. So we want to only activate our square, our shape, if the grid square dot selected. So if the grid square is selected and this grid square is not occupied. So I will put the exclamation mark, then grid square dot square occupied. So you can put the exclamation mark, or you can put double equal false. It's up to you. Okay, and then instead of straight away activate the square here, let me just comment this one out. And we need to introduce one variable to actually store the indexes of the squares. So right above the for each statement, I will add var square indexes will be equal to new list, and this is gonna be the list of int. Okay, and then we want to populate this list inside our if statement. So inside the if statement, I will put square indexes dot add, and we're gonna add the grid square dot square index. Okay, so we're gonna add the index of the square to our list, and then we want to also set the grid square dot selected will be equal to false. Okay, so once we add the index of this square to the list, we're gonna make sure we set this grid selected to be false. So make sure you first of all add the index to the list, and then we want to deselect it. Okay, so now below this for each loop, we want to introduce the variable var current selected shape will be equal to, and then we're going to call shape storage dot get current shape, and then we want to check if our current selected shape is equal to null. We just want to return from this function. Okay, so there is no selected shape. Okay, so this is just for the safety. So now we can introduce another if statement to check if the number of the elements inside this list will be the same as the number of the squares from the specific shape. But in order to do that, we will have to go to our shape class and add one more variable. So let's quickly do that. So I will just open the shape class and go right at the top, and below this public shape data, I will put another public variable, and this is going to be the integer, and I'm going to call it total square number. And we want to have the get and the set function, so get and then set. Okay, and let's actually initialize this value, this variable. So let's quickly go to our create shape function. So I will scroll down to create shape function, and as you see, we currently have the total square number stored in our local variable, which is the total square number. So we want to just replace this variable with our total square number. Okay, so make sure you assign this get number of squares to our variable which we just added, and then of course we need to replace this variable with this total square number. Okay, so make sure you have those two variables in, and now when we save everything, we can go back to our grid class and go back to our check if shape can be placed function, and now we can actually add our if statement. So I will put if the current selected shape dot total square number will be equal to, make sure you put double equal sign, square index dot count. So if the number of the squares inside the shape is the same as the number of the selected shape on our grid, that means we can actually place our shape. So inside this if statement, I will just put for each loop, and we want to loop through the square indexes, and I will call it square index. Okay, and then we want to actually call our grid squares at square index dot get component grid square dot place shape on the board. Place shape on the board, we don't have this function yet, but we're gonna implement it in a second. Okay, and then we want to of course get our shape storage. So this line is not really needed at this moment. We want to get our current selected shape outside of this for each dot deactivate shape. Okay, so this is what's going to happen when we actually can place the shape on the board. And then let's put the else statement. So this is when we actually cannot place shape on the board. So if we can't place shape on the board, we're gonna call our game event, which we don't have it yet, but I just gonna put it here. So game events dot move shape to start position. Move shape to start position, and we're gonna call it. Okay, so that's it for now for this function. And now let's actually add this place shape on the board function and our game event. So let's go to our grid square class, and let's add function public void place shape on board. Okay, and inside this function we're just gonna call function activate square. So this is very simple function. We're gonna expand it later, but for now we're gonna keep it simple. Let's save everything, and now let's go back to our grid class, and as you see, our place shape on the board function is recognized now. So now we need to add this game event. So let's go to our game events class, and I will just go below here. I will add public static action, and this is going to be called move shape to start position. Okay, so make sure this name is exactly the same as you have in your grid class. So let's save everything, go back to grid, and this game event should be recognized now. If it's not, make sure this name is exactly the same what you put in your game events class. Okay, so the name need to match. And now we can actually listen for this event. So let's go to our shape class and then let's scroll up, and we will have to add the onEnable and onDisable function. So I will use the shortcut Ctrl-Shift-M to call this window, and then I will search for onEnable. I will tick it, and then another function onDisable. I will just check it and then OK. So as you see, this is the standard Unity function. You can just type it yourself. You don't have to use the shortcut. And then inside this function, we're gonna assign ourselves to the game event. So game events dot move shape to start position plus equal. And I'm just gonna call the same name. I'm just gonna copy it and put it here. And then let's duplicate this line, move it to the onDisable, and make sure you just change this plus to minus. Okay, so we're gonna subscribe inside onEnable and then unsubscribe from onDisable function. So now we need to implement this function. So I will just copy this name. I will go down right at the bottom and I will add private function. So private void, and let's paste this name, put the braces, and inside this function we just gonna call transform with the underscore, because this is our local variable, dot transform dot local position will be equal to underscore start position. Okay, so we're gonna just reset the position to the start position, and let's save everything. And there is actually last thing which we have to do. So let's go to our grid square class and make sure our square occupied variable is set inside the start method and an active square. So we have it already. And then we want to go to our onTrigger enter 2D function. And then we want to put the F statement. So if the square occupied will be equal to false, make sure you put double equal sign. We want to move this hover image activation under this if statement, and then we want to put the selected will be equal to true. Okay, then let's actually copy this if statement and go to the onTriggered state 2D, put this if statement in, open the braces, and we want to set our selected variable above the SF statement on trigger state 2D function. So selected will be equal to true. Okay, so if we're staying on the collision, this variable will be set to true, and then when we exit from the collision, this variable will be set to false. So I will just copy this F statement again. Inside our onTrigger exit 2D, we're gonna paste this F statement, put the braces, and then let's put inside this F statement selected will be equal to false. So make sure you reset this selected whenever we release our mouse. And I think that's pretty much it for this implementation. So make sure you have everything implemented as me. I know we've been jumping on different files today, but this is we have to do these changes for this logic to work. So let's save everything now. Let's go back to Unity and actually let's test it now what we have. So when I press play, we can grab our shape, so we can still place it. Actually, as you see, we cannot even place it. So we have broken our previous logic, but we have implemented something different now. So if you grab the shape now and you're going outside of the grid, you release the mouse, shape is going back to the start position. If you try to place the shape and only, let's say, 2 or 3 squares are active, as you see here, the shape is going back to start position. If you actually place your shape, it's disappearing, but the squares are not activated. And this is because we probably have set it the wrong index for our grid squares. So let's stop this project and then let's go to our grid square class. So make sure you are inside the grid square class. Let's go on the top and let's check where we're setting this square index. So square index at the beginning, when we're creating the variable, is set to 0, even if we not explicitly set it. Okay, so we have this variable here, but this variable is actually not set in this class. So I believe this variable is set in our grid class. So let's go to the grid class. Let's go to the function where we're spawning our grid squares. Spawn grid squares. Okay, and as you see, when we're creating the grids, we're supposed to be setting the indexes for them as well. So because all of the grid squares have this square index variable set to 0, that means every time you try to place the shape on the grid, it's going to activate only the square with the index 0. Okay, so that's the reason why you can't see different squares being activated. So above this, so let's go to the grid class and to the spawn grid squares function, and inside this second for each, below this logic, when we're adding our object to the list, I will put grid squares at grid squares dot count -1 dot get component. We want to get the grid square dot square index will be equal to square index. Okay, so as you see, we are increasing the square index. So this line of code will solve our problem. If you save everything now, go back to Unity, press play, and let's try to place something on the grid. As you see, everything is working, and as you see, our game behaving much better now. So if you try place shape here, it's just going back to the start position. The same for here. If you try to place shape on the top of another shape, it's going back to the start position, because you cannot do that. Okay, only if all of the squares on the grid are available, you will be able to place your shape. So we can place the shape, and of course we placed all of the shapes, so there is no more to place. We have to restart the game. So I think that's it for this episode. Our placing shape logic works much better now, so make sure you put everything as I did inside this episode. If you have any issue with this code, please try to rewatch this episode and make sure you have your code right. If you still have an issue, please do let me know in the comments below, and you can also send me your project on my email address. You should find it somewhere in the comments, so I will be able to look through your project and help you out. In the next episode, we're gonna actually look at the logic to get new shapes when we actually place all of the shapes, and also we need to implement the visual appearance for the shape. So if, let's say, player try to place this shape on the top of another one, we want to have the certain square from the shape to be set to different colors. So this is going to be the indication for the player that there is a problem with this certain square. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you like this episode, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode.